Welcome to Fans Choice. Today we have AMA Pro Flat Track racer Bryan Smith. Bryan Smith is coming off a huge win last week in Phoenix. Bryan, welcome to Fans Choice.
Hey man, thanks for having me.
Give it up for national number 42, Bryan Smith.
Mr. Mile, Bryan Smith.
Bryan Smith. Bryan Smith grabs the whole shot.
Smith makes history. Back out front, 42, Bryan Smith. Bryan Smith.
Bryan Smith victorious on the 42 Kawasaki.
Why don't you tell us about last weekend and how awesome it was to ride out there in the super duper heat, man. Wow.
It was an awesome race, but it was too hot to enjoy almost. It was 103, 104 degrees. So in black leathers, it looks cool, but it was really hot. The race was phenomenal. I won by a straightaway, 12 seconds. So anytime you can dominate like that, it's always fun. It never gets old.
Well, this weekend, AMA Pro Flat Track is out at Sacramento, the Sacramento Mile. Why don't you, can you preview that race for us? You've won there in the past, right?
Yeah, I'm actually going for 6 wins, 6 years in a row at this track in Sacramento. So coming off the win in Phoenix, there's no doubt in my mind that I can't get 6 this weekend. It's pretty cool. The track's always been pretty special to me because I grew up watching my heroes on TV, Scotty Parker and Jay Springsteen, run around Sacramento, and that was when Dave Despain was announcing it on ESPN. So it's pretty cool to go back there, and nobody's won. I think it's 4 or 5 in a row. So now that I have 5 going for 6 in a row, none of my heroes have done that. So it's pretty cool to be the only one to have won that many races in a row at that track.
That's amazing to say that you've bested your heroes. That's terrific. Speaking of heroes, how did you get into flat track racing?
It's pretty simple. When basically, to scale it all down, I was born in Flint, Michigan. That's like being born in Charlotte, North Carolina, and not knowing what NASCAR is. Flint, Michigan's like the hub of flat track. All the way back to the 50s and 60s with Bart Markle, who was a 3-time Grand National champion, to Jay Springsteen in the 70s and Scotty Parker in the 90s. And, my dad was friends with Scott Parker and went to high school with them. And once I was born, I started racing bicycles and got a dirt bike. And at that time, Scotty Parker was the Camel Pro, AMA flat track champion. And we'd go over his house on off weekends and have cookouts. And my dad would be drinking a beer with Parker, and I'd be riding in his backyard on my little 50cc dirt bike. So it's pretty cool for me to grow up and kind of under his wing and go on to win some national races and kind of live up to what I seen going on as a kid and, when I was looking up to him. What
would you consider your biggest win?
There's a few. X Games last year was pretty cool. We got to run it, the ESPN Big X Games and live TV. That was the first time I ever raced live on TV, and basically it was pretty cool for all my fans and friends, mostly my family at home all watching, to the leader broke on the last lap and I was in second, so I got the win. So it was like, okay, cool, silver medal. And all of a sudden within 10 seconds the race flipped upside down and I was the gold medalist. So that was pretty big. There's a bunch of cool wins. As far as publicity, that was probably the biggest win.
What is your favorite racing moment? Would it be your first win?
The win in Phoenix was my 23rd national win, so I've never would have ever thought I would have won that many races. And I'm getting up there tied with some really cool, heroes of mine, of legends really of the sport, getting close to their records and stuff. So it's pretty cool, but it makes it tough to pick out just one win. There's a few that are special. My first win, I was the first one to win on a Kawasaki on a mile track in flat track. So that was pretty cool back in 2010. When I won Springfield Mile for the first time, it was my second win, and I was the youngest racer at the time to ever win the Springfield Mile. So that was pretty cool.
Besides winning a championship, where do you see yourself in the future?
Just, man, trying to get that first championship, just keep winning. The next 2 weeks are 2 miles, 2 of my favorite tracks, Sacramento and Springfield Mile. And we go to a new track in Oklahoma City, and there's no reason why we can't keep winning them all.
Well, awesome. Well, Bryan Smith, best of luck to you and the AMA Pro Flat Trackers out there. Thanks for coming to Fans Choice, and we hope to see all the fans out there rooting you on this year. Thank you.